welcome back to Party Trick Astrology. I'm Nina.
I'm Shaina.
And this is Scorpio rising.
Oh, what should our
Slash
sound
ascendant
effect be?
I don't know, we'll do it in post.
I think it'll be...
Okay.
So this was heavily anticipated.
Yeah, scarily enough, like no pressure or anything.
Yeah, because for some reason, people only care about Scorpios.
Every Scorpio placement is like 200% more popular than any of our other, and it's not
just our videos, it's every
astrologer's
video.
And it's strange because like it's not like Scorpios also have Scorpio risings and Scorpio, you know, like wouldn't the Scorpio rising want to watch their Mars and Gemini video? No, like I'm confused, but that's besides the point. Let's talk about you.
So it is ruled by Pluto and
Mars.
And Mars, yes. I think of it as like a 75-25.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the actual percentage, but that's how I think of them. It makes sense to me. Maybe this is why everybody loves Scorpios, is because it's ruled by Pluto. So there's just a magnetism.
Yes, definitely.
It's just unbreakable, and you can't deny it, that they just have it. And it's hard to explain, and it's very subconscious.
But once you know it, and you're like, once you can pinpoint, oh, Scorpio rising, and you see it, you're like, oh my god.
Your brain explodes because you realize people like bow down to them almost, like not on purpose. This isn't like a conscious thing that we're doing, but you just realize how differently they're treated.
Yes.
And also I would like to say that this is relevant to Scorpio risings, and it is also pretty relevant to Pluto in the first. There's distinctions, but a lot of people have said like, I have a Capricorn rising, but I have Neptune in the first, and I relate more to the Pisces rising video.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. It's very valid. So I just wanted to add that in there, that if you have Pluto in the first, you might find that you relate to this, or if you have different planets in Scorpio risings, you may find that it's a little bit like this, but not exact, and that is why. When Scorpio risings talk, it's so interesting because they're like, I'll take an example from the other day. Now this is somebody with Pluto in the first, but I think it's still very relevant. That I was at a meeting and there was tons of people there, and he's like one of the chairmen of the theater. And there's like 6 of them. When everybody else talks, it's just like, yeah, da, 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 da. Like maybe there's a little bit of conversation here or there, like nothing disrespectful. But the second he talks, if you look around, everybody's looking at him, everybody's silent, everybody is 100% focused on him. Whereas this, people may talk over each other, but not when a Scorpio rising or Pluto in the first person talks.
Yeah. And that we had that teacher in our first year and in other classes throughout our years at college.
True.
But we had him our first week of school, and like as he presented the syllabus, he was just like blah, 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 and everyone was just like, it was strange.
And after class, everybody was like, oh my god, he's amazing. And I was like, he's really cool and I'm interested in his class, but like,
where's this coming from?
It was crazy. And what was also interesting about it is that it was just the initial response to him. Like after a while, everybody faded out, and I liked him more than a lot of other people did. Yeah. And everybody else had that initial response of, oh my fucking god, and I was the only one that was like, I don't get it.
No, you know what I think it was? Because I was that too. I was like, oh, he's cool, but like everyone likes him so much. I was dubious because everyone liked him so much.
Scorpio risings just know how to command a room. Like they walk in and they just have a different energy than everybody else. Even if everybody's a different rising, it's such a magnetic energy. And they also just have naturally darker features. They may have darker skin than the rest of their family. Like my roommate's white, but nobody thinks that she is. And she's a lot of Scorpionic influence. And they love their black and red combination, or just like we mentioned this in our Astrological Party Tricks video, and somebody was like, I like purple and pink.
That's royalty.
Yeah.
Purple is royalty. They are like royalty.
Yeah.
They just have this power.
Effortless power.
Yeah.
They
are not loud about it at all. They're not.
In fact,
Leo risings.
That's the whole point, is that they don't do anything they just are.
They're speaking from the inside, and you're like, yes, I hear you, and everyone hears you. It's not like they're serious and,
No, they can be very fun.
They can be fun and like silly and do something weird, and your reaction always to whatever a Scorpio rising does is pretty much like, I respect that. I wish I could be that cool.
They say something that's lame. It's not lame when they say it. The best way I can describe it is like anybody says, I love Nickelback. You're like, you're a fucking idiot. A Scorpio rising says that they love Nickelback. They're like, tell me more.
I never thought about the advantages of what makes you like Nickelback. Yeah.
It's so crazy. I think they're just seen as, it's a very sexual placement.
Oh, for sure.
So they love being, maybe they're not a sexual person. They could be. It depends. But whether they are or not, they like
portraying it.
or portraying it.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna like giving like maybe a lap dance playfully, or you know, not necessarily that. It could be anything. But it's
completely not, and I don't like to use this word, but it's not trashy. It's not attention seeking.
No.
That's the very thing. Scorpio risings don't have to be attention seeking
because
they are attention grabbing.
They already got it. They don't need
to try at all. It's such an effortless power. It's like a boss position. My boss is actually a Scorpio rising.
And that's why it squares Leo, because Scorpio rising doesn't like the people that are like, here I am, because they don't need to do that. They're like, right, just be who you are.
It squares Aquarius too, and Aquarius risings are always like, this is what I know, blah, 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 da, da, da. And the advantage of Scorpio rising is they don't need to do any of that. They don't need to tell you what they know. They don't need to show off how great they are. They just are. And that's the very thing. It's always hiding something. Scorpios are very secretive and so very much hiding things. So their ascendant is very much a mask. Not that it's not like who they are, but you see it as an aura that is just the surface. It's like you can see the still waters and you're like, those still waters run deep, but I don't know what the fuck is living under there.
So everybody's like, I want to get under there. Also, Scorpio rising has a love-hate aspect connected to it. I have a best friend that's a Scorpio rising, and for our entirety of high school, people would love her for no reason or absolutely hate her for no reason.
Right. We've been saying a lot that like you look at Scorpio risings and you're like, oh, you're so cool, blah, blah, blah. But there is the other aspect.
Absolutely.
Like this teacher that
random
we had,
hatred.
Like people were like, oh, I love him so. You never heard like, I'm neutral on this guy.
No, you're not neutral.
You're never
on
neutral.
Scorpio rising. And you're a group of people that like the Scorpio rising person, they're scared to question their authority. They're scared to do anything like speak negatively of them, even when they're not around, because they always feel like they're around. I find that when somebody does like kind of make them the butt of a joke, like not insulting them, yes, be done very correctly, which I'm really good at doing most of the time, that like if they're just like the butt of a sarcastic joke, or they do something that they know they do, you know what I mean, like something silly and lighthearted, like people are scared to make those jokes about them because then like, don't kill me, you know, like that's their thought. But like I won't be scared to be like, that's because you do this, you know what I mean, or like make a joke of them or something like that. They respond so well to it when it's done well, because nobody does that because they're scared, but they can most of the time. Like Scorpio rising is just a rising. If their rise of their chart says that they can laugh about themselves, like they love it. Like I know a Scorpio rising that roasts herself constantly, but people are going to be kind of more scared to roast her because they're like, you know, and if it's done poorly, then she will hold a grudge. But like I find that like when I do say those kinds of things to them, and if it's done right, like that's why they like me. Yeah. And like that's such a big thing, because they're like, she can play with me.
It's also a thing of Scorpios or any Scorpio placement, I should say, there is a huge amount of secrecy associated with it and of protection associated with it. Those Scorpio placements make the person feel like they need to protect themselves and they need to keep things private, but it may conflict with other things, and they may even hate that part of themselves because they want to be understood. They want to have other people see them. And the extremely frustrating thing of having an aspect of yourself that makes you so private is that people can easily misinterpret who you are, because you're like, well, I have all this stuff within me, but I keep it private because what if you knew it? It's almost like a paranoia.
Yeah, no, 100% is.
So having someone be able to poke at you or see something in you, or like see something about your psychology that other people are scared to even bring up because of your intimidating Scorpio rising demeanor is extremely comforting. Just that's probably like the struggle that comes with being a Scorpio rising is the intense privacy that you have to the point of paranoia and the feeling of being misunderstood that comes along with it.
And I think that's why Scorpio sextiles Virgo and Capricorn, the earth signs, because they'll keep your secrets private.
Absolutely.
They're loyal, they're grounded. It's a fixed rising, so a lot of times they do have like a set style or a set look, and most of the time that look is dark and mysterious and black skinny jeans.
Even if it's like they have a very boring practical style, maybe they're Capricorn or something, I don't know, or just like they're a boy and they're not as like fashionable, or not saying that boys can't be fashionable, but
they just don't care about.
They don't care. They still might be attracted to red and dark colors and even hats, secretiveness.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, like we said, like darker features, like they'll have darker hair, darker eyes, very like intense. They have a bird nose.
Oh,
they always have such a very specific nose.
It's like a psychological little like I can look into your soul with my nose.
My friend that's a Scorpio rising, I keep on mentioning, but she has literally a witch nose, and she hates it, but I think that like makes her face shape who it is, and I love it. But like, because it is, it's like, and Scorpio is very like witchy and dark and. Or it can be birdy, or it can just, every Scorpio nose is different, but there's some kind of weird bump or downturn or something's up. And when they smile, it's a half smile. They only smile with half of their mouth.
Queens of the smirk.
Yeah, they're like it's never like, you know how there's like, it's a trend now to not smile in pictures and everybody's serious? That was the Scorpio rising that did that. They were like, no, I just smirk.
Because that's my sexiness. That's my strong suit. Interesting thing about all this power that comes along with the Scorpio rising is that unless you have an interception, your natural midheaven is Leo.
I think this is such a cool combination, and it's like such a good combination, I think, because that makes your public image and persona, like it lights up that house, and so you're seen so like, you can be so happy-go-lucky the second a camera turns on you, or so silly, or you're so like, but yet you're still respected even when you're silly on camera. It's such an interesting
You're just so
thing.
performative.
Yeah.
In that aspect.
Like every time I put a camera on a Scorpio rising, they're like, oh, okay.
Even though they have like this privacy within them.
Oh yeah.
And I think that Scorpio risings without any interceptions, obviously the natural Scorpio rising house rulers is the best.
I agree. I will say though, Libra is in their 12th. And that's really hard. So that I think adds to that Scorpio rising, because it makes relationships very hard, because it's hard to penetrate that Scorpio rising, so it's hard to make a connection with a lot of people. Scorpio risings are great with people, and depending on their right side, they can know everybody, and they're very picky about who knows them.
Absolutely.
Basically. But they like to know everyone. They like to know everybody's shit. They're the kind of person that's like, this person's dating this person, or like, this person did this.
They're legitimately that like trope of like two detectives sitting in a car, and it's like been a long night and you're the Scorpio rising. I'm like, so Bob, you're always figuring out these cases and you always got the thing down, but what's going on in your personal life? And then the Scorpio rising is like, you don't need to know about my personal life. Let's get the job done.
Yeah, they might also have like a tweet and delete syndrome.
Yeah, because Scorpio is the sign of like death and regeneration, but like pretty much just destroying, getting rid of things, being minimalist.
Oh yeah, every Scorpio rising goes through phases of just like, fuck all my shit.
Yeah, not like material, especially like Libra
in the 12th.
Like not material item.
But if you do have something, it means a lot to you.
Exactly.
So 7th house?
7th house. 7th house in Taurus. So
This is so true for my roommate. Everybody, she's like, they're a fucking Taurus.
Yes. And literally, like, she'll be like, so-and-so's cute. I think I have a crush. I'm like, hey, you know what their sign is? Taurus.
Fucking Taurus. Just looking for somebody that will just lather you in luxury.
Yeah. And the thing is, the hugest opposition of Scorpio and Taurus is Scorpio is chaotic, destructive, tumultuous, and Taurus is the epitome of stability. So
you're looking for that.
Exactly.
Stability and groundedness in your life. Tauruses aren't gonna don't change. They're not gonna destroy and redo themselves. So you wanna find somebody who will probably keep you at a constant, or is a constant, because everything else in you and your life is changing, but you want somebody that is that constant. And it's, Taurus is very Venusian, so it is a very, you just want somebody that loves you. It's very pure, I think.
Someone who...
Did I put on mascara?
Yes.
I don't think I did.
I can see it.
I didn't.
It's the epitome of that stability. I don't know what else to say. That's just what you're in, at least a pure... empty 7th house ruled by Taurus.
Yeah, and also Taurus is so dependable that you're looking for somebody who can keep your secrets and can, you know what I'm saying? That's why they like that earthiness so much. There's a safety, I think, to somebody with a lot of earth. I think that also with Taurus in the 7th house is that you want somebody to teach you how to enjoy everyday luxuries, because you're so nothing is surface level to you. Everything is so much deeper, blah, blah, blah. And I think you want somebody to be just enjoy this bath with me. Just enjoy this food with me.
Scorpio is the epitome of sexual, and Taurus is the epitome of sensual. So that kind of relationship is just going to be
it's perfect. It's
delicious.
A perfect combination. Yeah.
So delicious, like the vegan ice cream.
It's such a vegan chocolate cake. If you know a Scorpio rising, I'd say get to their sun and moon, because they'll appreciate it.
They will appreciate it, definitely.
And you might think that they're going to, I feel like everybody has this unspoken thing of they're going to freak out at you if you get to their sun and moon.
No.
But they're actually going to like it. And also don't disrespect them though at the same time.
Don't disrespect them.
If you disrespect them, their brain will explode because they don't get disrespected, and they will flip their shit and hold a grudge against you for a year and a half.
Yes. I think that is the reason why people are so hesitant to test them at all, because if you have any experience with a Scorpio rising or Scorpio placements or sun in the 8th, and you fuck them over in some way or don't apologize, you just know that you're never gonna be in the same good graces that you were with them before, because they will hold a grudge forever, because they don't forget. Ever. Nothing. Okay, that is all. We hope that it was worth the wait that everybody's not so patiently waiting for. I feel like this one's gonna be long, so.
It is. Thank you for sitting through it. Thanks to all the random people that clicked on it because it's a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.